There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone.
Welcome to Sci-Fi Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Steve.
And I'm Sean, Fangirl S, and tonight we're discussing episode 8 of season 1 of Krypton. Now, I'm getting a little scared, Steve. Because every time you have season 1, so far, we haven't been doing so good this season with shows.
Right, yeah.
But we've not heard anything negative about Krypton.
No, we have not, and the numbers are still pretty good. Episode 8 brought in a 0.17 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.528 million viewers, making it the 53rd rated cable show for the day. And the live plus 7 days for episode 6, tied for 16th in adults 18 to 49 total gained, going from a 0.2 to a 0.5 for an increase of 0.3. And that tied them for 4th in adults 18 to 49 percentage gain with an increase of 150%.
Nice.
They were 9th in viewers total gain, going from 0.598 to 1.676 million viewers for an increase of 1.078 million viewers, which brought them in 2nd in viewers percentage gain, increasing by 180%.
That's great.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I'm scared still.
Yeah.
When we don't hear anything.
Because they haven't announced anything yet.
Yeah, when we don't hear anything, I get worried. Like, either way.
Right.
I don't know. Okay, but this episode was, wow.
Yeah, a little bit different. Little. Okay. Alright, let's do this. Because I'm just thinking, wow, and holy crap, and let's jump in, shall we? Alright, Savage Night. A resistant movement begins to form to impede the Voice of Rao's increasing power and influence.
Oh.
We start with a flashback to 2 weeks earlier, which happens to be 2 months for us.
Right.
To the very first episode.
Can I say how different Seg looks? Like,
yeah.
I'm looking at it going, wait a second, why does he look like so much younger in that flashback? What the heck? It's been like, even if they were filming and they went back and refilmed the same thing, I feel like he would not look that different.
Right.
But he looked like a baby.
Yes, he did.
It's so weird.
Yes, all this is stressing him out and making him age quickly.
Maybe he just like clenches his jaw so much, like he looks older now.
Right.
And that was before he was stressed out. So, you know, not like we know anything about that, right?
No, not at all. So that scene where Adam first reveals himself to Seg down in District 19 and tells him that he's come from the future to warn him about Krypton's fate and that Seg must save Superman.
Save him.
Yeah, we see him hand the crystal and then he vanishes.
And this was great because we actually get to see where he went.
Right.
I still don't know where it is, but we get to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, was this supposed to be like a spaceship or some kind of like chamber on a planet? Do you know?
I have no clue.
Okay.
Yeah, no clue. So he's transported back to a sterile tube-like chamber where Strange converses with a disembodied voice named Sardok. And we learn much more about the time traveler's past and the Zeta beam device that he borrowed.
Yeah, I love that because when they were giving him some crap.
Yes, they were.
And there was another voice that popped in, which makes me wonder who the heck that is because Strange seemed to know that second voice even more, like more intimately.
Yes. Now, in the comics lore, Adam Strange was once a normal human archaeologist, but one day while working on an excavation site in Caramangana, South America, he was transported to the planet of Ran via a circular device known as the Zeta Beam.
Which he said he renamed Zeta Beam.
Right. So, Rand's noble alien leader Sardoth invented the Zeta Beam to teleport matter over vast distances of space and time. So, not Adam Strange.
Right. But here we have Sardoth listening to Strange talking about Brainiac, which did pique his interest.
Yes, it did.
And makes me wonder if Sardoth in this timeline, basically, because it's not exactly the same as the comic, what he knows about Brainiac. Because he's like, oh, if this is happening, somebody with more experience will take care of this.
Right.
Like, oh, really? I thought that was kind of interesting. But he's like, trying to plead his case. He's like, Brainiac's headed to Krypton, and that means there's a dire threat to Superman. So we need to make sure that everything's taken care of. And that's when we're hearing, kind of, I took it as almost not Sardoth talking to himself, but talking to a group of people, and we just don't know who he's talking to.
Right.
And we will see what happens. But I was kind of disappointed where he was, oh, somebody else will take care of it. So you didn't even know about it, so hang on.
Right.
Slow your roll, guy. All right, I don't know who you're in charge of and what you're in charge of, but you were thinking, oh, well, he just stole this. No, he's giving me information. Oh, he isn't going to be able to do this. Never mind.
Right.
See, I'm leery about people who think they're so smart, which at this point, I'm going to have to say this is Sardoth, thinking he's so super smart, but he didn't know what was going on.
Right.
I wonder if we'll see more, or actually see anything.
Yeah. You kind of got the feeling that it was Mort talking to Orson.
Oh my God, we're going way back.
Yeah. And if you know that reference, you're as old as we are.
I'll happily send you something if you can tell me what it's from.
That's right.
But hey, the voice of Brainiac is up to something, and our gang is trying to stop it.
Yep. With the streets still crawling with Sagittari, Seg and Lita hide out in Seg's old homestead down in Sector 19. We see Kim discovering one of the robed Word of Rao acolytes, Sebi, hiding in a mound of garbage in the streets.
That kind of threw me off. Now, was that the one that was out there saying, stop, this is not who we think it is?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be afraid to try to go back then, too.
Yeah. And of course, Kim wants to know how's Anna doing, and she convinces him that Ona is safe and that the compromised high priest likes her.
Good and bad.
That's not a good thing.
Well, good that she's safe, because if the voice of Brainiac likes her, then maybe he won't do anything to hurt her or change her. And I think it's her innocence right now that he's like, oh, this is weird. I don't know how to feel about this.
That's very possible.
And
very possible.
I mean, like I said, so good and bad that, all right, she's okay now. It gives you time to do something. And I'm hoping that's what Sevi was trying to be like, all right, if you're going to make a move, you need to get her now.
Right. So, of course, she also mentions that he's getting stronger by sucking the life out of the embryos in the Genesis chamber.
Yeah, that's not scary at all. Since that is
not at all.
How they all procreate now. It's the only way they procreate.
Well, at least the ranked ones. We don't know about rankless if they have to use the Genesis chamber or not.
See, with what comes down in like a scene or two, I assumed that it was everybody the way they made it, which is weird because it's like, okay, do they have to like petition to have a kid, or it's like
I would think so.
It seems strange, but hey, whatever. Because we find out in the meeting room, also known as the back room of Kem's Tavern, he has so many rooms.
Yeah.
Like, I swear it's bigger on the inside. It's a TARDIS. We have Zod, Seg, Kem, Jaina, Nissa, and Lyta all together, and we're getting all this information.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, Drew Zod is like, oh yeah, Brainiac has sentries, and by infiltrating the Genesis chamber, he has the greatest source of electricity in Kandor, which I'm like, oh my God, we're in the Matrix.
Right. That's what I thought too.
But, he's like, okay, he's draining them. And then that's when Nissa's like, hold up. What does this mean? What does this mean about our child?
Right.
And this is the only way we procreate now. The only way babies are born anymore. What the heck is happening? Is he killing all the kids? Is he, destroying every generation from here on? And it took a second for them to all kind of look around and be like, oh crap.
Yeah. But boy, Lyda did cut her eyes at,
oh man. Ooh, if looks could kill.
Right.
Yeah, she was a little ticked off. But, I mean, that's a really good question then. If this is the only way, what does this mean for everybody?
Right. This may be the end of Krypton completely. Or at least Kandor.
Right. And I thought that was really interesting. But then they throw out, too, oh, but when he's doing this, he's in a trance and, he may be vulnerable.
Right.
It's like, all right, so maybe there's a chance. But I'm, of course, the naysayer, and I'm like, if they start shooting at him, those embryos were kind of like zipping all over there. What if they shoot one of those?
Right.
Or are they like super protected somehow?
Yeah, I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, see, I'm all freaked out. Not the babies.
Right. And so they think if they can sever the connection between the Sentry and his protectors, then taking him out might actually work.
Maybe.
Right. So, of course, Lyda suggests using Dev-M's body as a way into the alien being's neural network.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, try that again. Lyda suggests using Dev-M's body as a way to get into the alien being's neural network.
A lot of weird words all in a row.
Yeah. We'll have to talk to our writer about that.
It's a good idea. So, will it work is the question.
Right. And of course, to pull this off, they're going to need to recruit more manpower. And of course, Drew Zod wants to use Black Zero operatives to fortify themselves.
Yeah, they've been so awesome so far.
Right. And then we get some more awkward scenes where
oh my gosh.
Meg, Lyda, and Nissa zoom off in an uncomfortable skimmer ride out to retrieve Dev-M's body.
I thought it was funny because, you have Nissa like, oh, this reminds me of way back when we used to go to the Artist Guild's parties?
Right, yes.
And of course, Lyda's just like, whatever, rich snob. It's like, basically, yeah, I can see this looking really uncomfortable for poor Seg at this point. It's like, guys, let's bring it down a notch. We got a little bit more important things happening.
Because the ice daggers are flowing.
Oh, back and forth. Especially, and this is what I thought was weird, Lyda kind of throws out, and what did you think was going to happen when all this was over, huh? Did you think you and your dad were going to be on top? And I didn't think Nissa was being shitty here. I really thought she was just being, like, just talking and not thinking about it. She's like, no, I thought it was me and said.
Yeah.
Like, she said it out loud before she realized she said it. And I think that really threw Lyda.
Oh, absolutely it did.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So, Nissa had a much bigger game plan than I think anyone knew.
Yeah, especially Daron.
Yeah. So, they, I love how they're in, like, their costumes, and then next thing you know, they're out in the snow, but they have on, like, these snow suits.
Right.
Really? Where were those hiding in there? If it's this teeny tiny, like, basically the Prius of, vehicles there, where are you hiding? And how are you getting dressed in that? I'm just throwing that out there randomly. I know. But hey, look, they managed to get through the snow and find Dev.
Right. Who's not dead.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
So apparently that thing on his head, kept him going a bit more than we thought it would.
Right. So, of course, they drag him back to the skimmer and zip back to the fortress where they stabilizing for the time being.
Yeah. Apparently everybody's hanging out in the fortress now.
Yeah. Which is probably safer than anywhere than Kim's bar.
Yeah,
that's for
that's true. We need Kem there then. Just move the bar. There we go.
Yeah. So, of course, Lita informs Dev of procedure that we're going to use to try to save him.
Oh
save
my
you.
gosh.
And, yeah.
Okay, I was tweeting about this. I can't remember if you were tweeting at the same time. I'm like, alright, so Dev can't move, he can't talk, so they got him kind of
sedated.
Thank you. And it's like, blink once for yes, twice for no. This could help save the whole world, but it might kill you. But it's totally up to you. Really?
Yeah.
Everybody could die. Or just you.
Yeah.
I felt like that was kind of, like, you seen she was a little upset, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
she didn't like having to tell the truth, and she did.
Right. And I don't know, though. I just felt like the way she kind of set it up. Okay, all or nothing, but your decision. Yeah. Even though she was upset about it, I just felt like that was like the worst way to put it. I don't know.
Right, yeah. And that's a little understandable because she is military and they probably don't have a lot of social skills as far as
well, we seen how her mom were treating. Yeah, her mom was kind of treating her. So yeah, I guess I can totally see that.
Right. But he does agree to go through with the procedure.
I think if she'd have said it would save her, he would have said yes, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
That it wouldn't have mattered. And he doesn't have an arm at this point, so he's probably like, what the heck is happening?
Yeah. So Jaina and Druzad are brought before the harsh leader of Black Zero, where they hear her shattered dream of a guildless Krypton where the planet could have been a bastion of equality.
Okay, who is that woman? She's been in one of our shows, right? Because she looked so familiar.
Where's Fred when we need him?
Right. I was just wondering if you had recognized her or if it's just me.
Yeah, I did not recognize her at all.
Okay. I'll find it. Let's keep going.
Okay. Which, you know, if you think about it, her dream and I think what maybe Nyssa was hopefully planning for her and Seg are kind of in alignment. I mean, I can't say for that for sure, but I think they were trying to be a more democratic society, at least, was the goal.
Yeah, it seems like. So I think that would make sense, but, I mean, obviously, they're not going to talk about it here, necessarily.
Right.
Wait, I'm sorry. I found the actress. She's from 12 Monkeys.
Oh, jeez.
I knew she looked familiar. So Jax I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, Jax
She is from another sci-fi show, 12 Monkeys. So you don't have to call and write us and say you guys are dumb. Because I found it. It only took me a minute. Alright, yay. But man, I want to know what happened.
Right.
Because we don't get that information. But you kind of had some information?
Right. In the Greeky vaults of the DC Comics, Jax was a male super scientist and a colleague of Superman's father, Jor-El.
Oh, so we're talking future, not even past.
Right, yes.
So when did the fall happen for your whatever?
Yeah. So, and of course, supporting the importance of space travel and defense while developing nuclear rockets for exploratory purposes, one of his inventions goes off course and accidentally blows up Krypton's moon, Wethgor, killing hundreds of innocent colonists. So in some versions of the story, it's a deliberate act using an atomic bomb, and some have him using a powerful death ray. So of course, for his heinous crimes, the renegade outlaw is imprisoned in the Phantom Zone for a duration of 300 years.
That's really weird because obviously we have no idea, like, what this one did.
Right.
Because she does say that she knew and believed Val.
Right.
So I wonder if that was, like, when they fell, kind of like their house fell. Because they were standing by.
Right. Very well could have been.
Especially because we do get, basically General Zod giving all the information to Jax.
Right. About Brainiac and everything.
And she didn't seem surprised. So when she said, you know, she always believed him.
Right.
I was like, all right, so I don't know where we stand right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, if all these people believed him, what the heck happened?
Right. Well, apparently they weren't strong enough to stand up against the Vexes and the word of Rao.
Stupid Rao.
Yeah. So, of course, her offer to help be the muscle comes with a price.
Oh, I'm so surprised.
Yeah. She will only do it in exchange for Daron Vex.
Yeah, this was interesting because they, of course, contact Seg and tell him, all right, this is the situation. And Seg being, I'm going to say honorable,
yes.
He's like, not my decision.
That's right. Not my call. And, all right, Nissa, what's it going to be? Oh, yeah, sure.
I was surprised she was so quick, even though she's still obviously super pissed her dad was going to try to kill her. Like, she's like, yep, let's do this.
Yeah, I think she's done with him.
And that's why I feel like what she said to Lyta about, no, she thought it was going to be her and Seg, like, she never really thought her dad was going to basically stand by her.
Right.
So, maybe it's like, she had to just say it out loud in order for it to kind of, come to the front.
Right.
Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah. So after Strange and Kim find little Anna handing out blessings of Rao to the rankless, Strange disappears again back to Sardos' interdimensional way station. And
now, was that actually a flashback, or did he flip back then right away?
I think he flipped back right then.
Okay, see, I was thinking it was a flashback.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
And Sardoth is not a happy camper. He berates Strange for his lack of commitment in the past. And of course, Strange begs him to let him finish his mission and become the hero he was meant to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to be in that Justice League so bad.
He does.
And then we get to hear another voice. Alana, Sardoth's daughter. And she intercedes and agrees to let him return to Krypton. Now, in the history of the DC Comics, Alana actually marries Adam Strange, and together they have a daughter named Aaliyah.
See, they sounded like they had a relationship because,
right.
He was never that, into anything, but he seems really into it. It's like, okay, who are you? See, I didn't know who the heck it was.
Right. And I have a feeling that this is, he's always pushed it as him trying to save Superman. I kind of have the feeling that this is him having to prove himself to Sardoth so he can marry Elena.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a completely different motivation than what we thought, I think.
Especially with what happened next, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
Right, because Strange goes straight to Daron Vex and tries to convince him that his insider info on Brainiac can help Daron get out of this sticky web of lies and deceit.
Yeah, I was pretty ticked, though, that he was there at all.
Right. Yeah. What are you doing, Adam?
And he kept calling Daron Darren.
Yeah.
Daron's like, it's Daron.
Yeah.
It's like, you just sound stuck up saying it that way. Don't say it that way. But, it was interesting because Strange is like, you are not nearly as scared as you need to be. You don't even know what's coming.
Right. What is the voice of Rao now is just a tiny, tiny shadow of what is coming.
And he seemed kind of surprised that, he knew anything about it. Hello, he's coming to you to be like, I know what's going on with Brainiac, and I know that isn't the voice. But right. You're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Really? Sometimes I wonder. It's like,
right. So apparently Adam's plan is he must allow Kandor to be bottled by Brainiac, and Seg needs to escape the city before that happens.
Oh, yeah. Even when he tells Daron, yeah, you need to give me Seg. And all of a sudden he's like, why? What does he have to do? Okay, do you want help or not? It's like, too late, dude. You burned that bridge. Seg is not helping you. And that's right. Towards Daron Vex, not towards Strange. So Strange is doing what he can, But Daron's still trying to figure out, how he can hedge his bets, and I don't think it's going to matter.
No.
You're super screwed, dude.
Yeah. And then we get this bonding moment between Jaina and Druzad as they chat about who Superman truly is and why he has such powers on the yellow-sunned Earth.
Oh, this was interesting.
Yes. Drew explains that Kal-El was no different than every other Kryptonian before he escaped in his space pod as the planet exploded.
Yeah. And, cause if we can change things, then we can all have this power.
Right.
Imagine the good that we can do. And I'm like, I don't know. And
I'm not buying that.
Especially the next part when Jane is like, how exactly did you survive?
Right. Oh, I was in the Phantom Zone for crimes against the state.
My good friend put me there. Yeah, Jor-El.
Yeah.
And Jaina just had this look like, I am not buying what you're selling, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Do not trust you at all.
And I really feel like that was important.
Yes.
Because I think it was at the end of this one that Jaina's like, Seg, it was that or the preview. Seg, I don't think Zod is trying to, have the same vision for us as, we have right now.
No.
I think he wants to take over.
Yeah.
It's like, makes me wonder though, if Druzad had these powers because he ended up on Earth, then does it translate over to Kandor now?
You would think they would have, but we haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, maybe no.
Right.
But he is still just begging to try to get Doomsday.
Yeah.
I feel like that's his ultimate goal and he doesn't realize. But I'm sure that will come in the next episode. I feel like we've seen something about them talking about Doomsday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we go to Daron, who is begging the voice of Brainiac to snuff out the rebellion now with his insider info he's procured from Strange.
And he's getting zero response.
Right. The Sentry is in the zone, just sucking all the life juice out of thousands of embryos, and of course is not listening at all.
Those poor super babies.
Yeah.
But, alright, well, Daron wasn't lying, because as he's trying to say, no, listen, this is real information. Are you even listening to me?
Yeah.
In comes a squad of Black Zero operatives, Jaina, Drew, and Seg, and they're just shooting crap everywhere.
Right.
Well, some of the guards go down, not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them.
And Jaina's like, go, we got this. It's like, really?
Yeah.
You're gonna take on everybody? You know how hard it was just to take on Dev.
Right.
So I was a little worried about her and what that meant.
Right. And of course, back at the fortress, Dev's injured body convulses while undergoing the operation to remove Brainiac's invasive control and unlink Brainiac's red shard protectors.
I didn't think it was going to happen in time.
No, Val-El concentrates on his task and his hands are flying across his holographic computer screen while Lita is
freaking
just
out,
nagging him. Yeah. Are you done yet? Are you done yet?
It's like he's having seizures. I can see that, Lita.
Yeah.
Yeah, dear.
Calm down. Let me do my job.
Right.
Els always find a way.
Yay.
Sure enough, he does. And back in the Genesis chamber, the red shard troops fall limply to the floor after being disconnected. And at the same time, the Sentry retracts his tentacles from the power coupling and attacks Zod by tossing him like a doll across the floor.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, what does this mean? I thought he was dead, but.
Right. And it's shortly after that, we see a lethal beam of light strike the Sentry in the chest, courtesy of Jaina's excellent marksmanship.
I don't know, Jaina. Maybe you should have went for the head.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And you see him raise his arms and falls backwards into a bottomless chasm of the chamber and vanishes into supposed oblivion.
Yeah, that was a pretty large chamber, and we have no idea where the end was.
Right. It looked endless, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, they think, all right, he must be dead, right? If you
Yeah.
don't see a body, don't believe it.
Yeah.
I can't say it's true.
Right. And we see Dev actually survives the procedure, and Lyda offers her profound thanks for his bravery.
Yeah. Oh, you survived. Yay. Thumbs up, buddy. You better give him a kiss or something. Like, you were freaking out. So there's more than just like, this is just my friend. Even if you haven't admitted it to yourself yet.
Right.
Sorry, Lyda.
And then we see a captured Daron having a tense reunion with his daughter Nissa.
Oh, man. And at first he's like, you're going to do it, aren't you? You're going to kill me. And she's like, no, I forgive you for trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what? She's like, oh, you're not free or anything. But, you know.
Oh, no. She puts a leather blindfold over his eyes, and he gets delivered to Jax.
And now you get to figure out what's going on with that, because Jax is none too happy with you.
Oh, no. You can tell she's been waiting for this opportunity for a long
Oh, yes.
time.
And I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what are they going to do? I'm kind of scared.
Yeah. It sounded like he was going to be taken apart piece by piece.
That's what I thought, too.
We go back to the Genesis chamber, and sure enough, the Sentry has miraculously made it out and appears before Anna in his throne room.
Oh, yeah, but he doesn't look so great.
Oh, no. He looks like he's been through hell.
Yeah. But telling her, it's okay, I've been reborn. Okay, Ona, I know you're a kid, but at this point you gotta be like, oh, something don't look quite right. You know, it's like, maybe something's a little off. But, you know, surprisingly, she's a child, and she still has that ultimate belief, and
right.
That's what I think is really bad right now, because we see her, like, wander off, kinda, and you see Strange, who's still in Daron's office, which, how is he still there? I don't know.
Right.
And he goes...
Well, Daron wasn't in it, so they didn't come looking in his office.
There you go. So he sees her, and he kind of runs out, and he's like, Ona, and she's just ignoring him, and he's just looking at her like, what the heck is happening? She looks all zoned out.
Right. Something isn't right here.
Right. And I guess he decides to follow her.
Yeah.
And of course, you have everything happening with Black Zeros rushing into the chambers, and, like, I'm sure the Sagittari running everywhere with whatever, if they are hearing gunfire.
Right.
I'm sure, everything's kind of chaos, so he's like, alright, just gonna follow the kid. Yeah, I'm with her. And he ends up at Kem's Tavern, and Seg and Jaina are there. And like I said, they were kind of discussing what's going on with Drew, and, not so good. But when Ona walks in, Kem's, like, rushing over to hug her, and I was like, something is really not right. And I was thinking the Sentry got into her.
Right.
But I think I don't know if the Sentry did it, or if it's just somehow way worse. Like, I'm not 100% here.
Right.
Because all of the words that are on her face start turning red and, like, bright, and she just starts kind of repeating Brainiac's thing, through fire we are reborn. Which I honestly don't know if it's the voice of Rao or Brainiac, because she said it a couple times before.
Right.
And it's like, in that moment, Strange realized what was going to happen. Which I don't understand how he figured this out when nobody else did.
Yeah.
Because he, like, rushes over in front of Kem, and he kind of pushed Kem into Seg, right? So they both kind of fell back.
Yeah.
And then he did something. I didn't know if he had grabbed the device, because this is where I was like, it all happened so fast that I wasn't sure.
Right, yeah. He had to have reached in his pocket, grabbed the Zeta beam, and did something to turn it into a force field.
Yeah, because it looked like oh crap, I can't remember which Superman, where they, like, sent them to the Phantom Zone.
Right.
That's what it kind of looks like, the old one. And I was like, okay, is it a force field? Did he just send them to the Phantom Zone or something so that they would be safe for a minute? And it's going to open back up? I wasn't sure. But, like, everybody's looking at each other, and then poor little Ona exploded into a giant fireball.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, first of all, what the hell?
Yeah.
You made the kid a bomb. That's messed up. But I didn't know if the sentry was in her and he did it, or what the deal was. Like, I was a little...
Yeah, we don't know if the sentry is back in the chambers or not.
Okay.
If it transferred everything it had left into her to become a bomb or what.
But I'm guessing that everybody else survived because apparently Strange gets teleported somewhere at this moment.
Right.
And when it happens, there's a woman standing there. Short blonde hair, and she's just kind of frozen. But he knows who she is.
Or at least seems to.
Yeah. Because he said a name, and then, like, next thing you know, and it was creepy because nothing was moving, and then just her eyes, like, flip over to him. And I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, I jumped. I was like, what the hell? What's going on?
Yeah, and that's what he said. What the F?
So, I don't know. It's so weird. It's awesome, but weird. I'm assuming everybody's okay because I feel like if everybody died, well, Superman's done for. So.
Right. And isn't that a possibility that Strange transported back to Earth from the time he left and is in a completely different reality where Superman never existed?
Oh. See, I didn't think about that.
Right.
Interesting.
That would make it as strange thought it was.
That's true. So, interesting. I guess we'll kind of wait and see.
Yeah. So, for the 8th episode of the season, I can only imagine what they're going to do in the last 2.
Right? Oh, God. All right. Well, I hope you guys are liking this. And if you have any theories or comments, send us a message at sci-fi-talk@fangirlzone.com. That's SYFY @fangirlzone.com. And you can always head over to our website, fangirlzone.com, and it has our contact page, and you can find all the stuff we have there. And you can just click on it, and it's usually quite easy and quick. And, of course, while you're doing all that, if you would rate and review us on iTunes and any other platform you're finding us on, because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us. Tell your friends about the show. I am telling everybody I know who's into DC, so you should totally even the ones who aren't into DC, I think would really like this because it's giving us a whole different look at, Krypton.
Right.
We do hope you're enjoying the podcast. And that all being said, I'm Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. I'm an L. We always find a way.
And until next time.